Raise your hand if you have any social media apps like Instagram, Snapchat, or Facebook. Do you ever find yourself just opening the app for no reason because you're bored? Today, I want to tell you about one of the biggest and most common addictions around the world, and why maybe you should consider changing your lifestyle a little bit. I'm talking about the addiction to social media. Over the past month, I have researched many articles on social media addiction and even tested myself to examine the severity of this addiction that takes place in so many of us. I will be explaining what a social media addiction is, what causes a social media addiction, and how to solve a social media addiction. Let me tell you why this is a problem. In middle school or high school, who here remembers the figure of authority coming in and telling you about the effects of alcohol and drugs and why they're addictive? I do. Let me tell you why I think maybe social media should be talked about then as well. I'm going to tell you about social media addiction and how it affects your mental, physical, and social health. A social media addiction is just like any other overuse of a substance. It is a term often referring to someone who spends too much time on social media and it begins to affect their daily lives, relationships, community life, school, emotions, and so on. It is one of the most common and relative addictions today because nearly everybody has a social media platform. And because it is so common, it can be hard to take a step back and try to distance yourself from overusing social media. The addiction of social media can negatively affect your mental health in dozens of ways. The Help Guide organization tells us that some of the common effects include an increased risk for depression, stress, anxiety, loneliness, and even suicidal thoughts. Other effects to your mental health of overusing social media include comparison to others, low self-esteem, jealousy, and narcissism. This social comparison that we spend so much time doing on social media is one of the greatest killers of our happiness and well-being. The social media addiction also affects our physical and social health. The Indian psychology studies found that social skills, abilities to make small talk, actively listen, and develop empathy are severely affected by long hours of interacting with people online through social media. Social media addictions have also shown to cause eye strain, increased headaches, neck pain from constantly looking at your phone, chronic sleep deprivation, and blurred and damaged vision from blue light transmissions. With the negative effects on your mental, social, and physical health, social media has become a problem. Let me tell you how it became a problem. Who here remembers when Instagram was first invented? Or when you first got Snapchat? How are those apps changed today? Do you use them differently? The three main causes of social media that I will tell you about today are our brain chemistry, the fear of missing out, and the need of self-worth from others. The Addiction Center tells us that the constant stream of likes and shares have affected the brain's reward area to trigger the same kind of chemical reaction as cocaine. When a person gets a notification, such as a like or a mention, the brain receives a rush of dopamine and sends it along reward pathways, creating him or her to feel good. Social media provides an endless amount of immediate rewards in the form of attention from others. Therefore, people will go onto their social media platforms more often to check for more rewards because their brain is telling them to do so. The fear of missing out, also known as FOMO, is one of the leading causes of this addiction as well. Steve Handel, a published author and psychological coach, explains that if you go through most people's social medias, you'd think that they're living their best lives. This is how social media can distort our perception of people's lives. We see all the highlights of people's lives and all the fun things they're doing, but we rarely see the behind-the-scenes stuff, like going to work, doing chores, having stressful days, having bad days, the things that everybody goes through. This triggers the fear of missing out because we feel that our lives aren't as good as others, and this can also negatively affect your mental health. Another cause of this addiction is a sense of self-worth. A person who may be addicted to social media loves the attention of others when receiving a like or a comment on their post. This makes them feel good about themselves. However, what actually happened is that they're relying on their phone or computer for social interaction instead of going and engaging with people in person. And because there's no actual interaction with people, at the end of the day, the person may feel like they have no friends at all because the only time they interacted with them was online. This actually lowers self-esteem instead of raising it. So how our brains are wired, the fear of missing out, and the sense of self-worth are all driving factors that cause of social media addiction. But don't worry, there's so many ways to overcome this addiction. Raise your hand if you've been using social media during the quarantine. I have. The 3 best solutions that I found were first to get rid of notifications, the more extreme just to delete the apps and all. Secondly, leave your phone outside of your bedroom. And third, get creative and explore different ways that you can spend your time without the use of your phone. Notifications are a huge distraction. With every bing or buzz that goes off, we immediately look at what was on our phone. Even if we don't respond or open the notification, it still takes our attention away from what we were concentrating on before. So by turning off our notifications, apps like Instagram and Snapchat won't be able to remind us to go on their app. You can also challenge yourself to delete your social media apps for 1 week and see how your productivity may change and how you may feel differently mentally and physically. Don't bring your phone into your bedroom. Start to view your bedroom as your sleeping sanctuary or electronic-free space. Your phone and computer emit high levels of blue light, and this can cause damage to your retinas and create loss of vision. Blue light also disrupts the body's production of melatonin, our sleep-inducing hormone. So by keeping your bed outside of your bedroom, you will minimize the urge to pick up your phone and start scrolling. Instead, always have a book or journal next to your bed. Get creative. Find other ways to spend your time. Growing up in my house, I was always told the phrase, "There's no such thing as boredom." Take this idea with you. Whenever you feel like you don't know what to do or there's nothing to do, there's always something. The best solution I found for me personally was to just go outside in nature or go on a walk around your town, but leave your phone at home. This is a great way to bring yourself into the present moment without any distractions from technology. Lastly, make an effort to spend your time differently. This doesn't mean you have to banish all technology. The internet can be a very useful tool to learn new things, like a new cooking recipe, how to play guitar, watching tutorials on whatever interests you, or joining online fitness classes like yoga or dancing. There are tons of options that don't include mindless scrolling that social media creates. So as I just explained, getting rid of notifications or even the apps, leaving your phone out of your bedroom, and going outside and trying something new are all great solutions to help get rid of a social media addiction. I hope you find these helpful. In conclusion, addiction to social media is a huge problem, but there are so many ways that we can all overcome it. I want to encourage you to take a step back and ask yourself, could I be spending my time in a better way? Start to train your brain to think of things to do that aren't a time waster. I'll leave you with this. The average person spends 2 hours a day using social media, which amounts to 5 years and 4 months of his or her lifetime. Don't waste 5 years of your life away scrolling through other people's filtered out posts. Life is already short enough. Put your phone down and start living it. Thank you.